Hello everybody and welcome to another Work It Wednesday on This Is Not Legal Advice. This reading is not going to be for everyone, but we're going to find out who it's for. So let us pull a few cards, and if this sounds like you, then this is your reading, my dear. It wasn't closure, open ending, unanswered, emotional hangover. Dodging growth like it's homework, fear of change, comfort zone. Wake, work, scroll, repeat, burnout, cycle, routine, collapse. And tears, what tears? Denial, emotional leak, and pretense. So if you are somebody who is being challenged by the universe to step into something new and perhaps out of something that is just become routine and actually quite sad for you and stressful for you, this is your reading. The universe is saying you've got growth to do. There's some closure you can have and some positive growth and development you can have. If this looks like you, if this sounds like you, then my dear, this is your reading for our Work It Wednesday on This Is Not Legal Advice. I thank you for joining me. My name is TINLA and I will be your hostess today. We're going to talk about what's going on in your career right now. What is the advice from Spirit for your highest good? We're going to find out what your higher self would preview as an outcome. And then also we're going to talk about what I'll get into in the extended, which is available on the website at tinlatarot.com. I apologize for the delay in getting out my last Work It Wednesday. I have been very busy with personal readings, and if you want to book one, that's also available on tinlatarot.com. And I just want to say a few things before we get started. I feel like I needed to wear my evil eye ring. Maybe somebody is jealous of you at work. Just a side note. This is also being recorded on March 3rd, 2026, which was the full moon and the blood moon eclipse and all of that. And incidentally, 3-3 for March 3rd, it symbolizes aligning with your life's purpose. So maybe you're in a job right now that isn't really aligning with who you are as a person. Incidentally, another thing, I felt the need to listen to 303's Starstruck before I began this reading. I'm not saying you have to, but I'll link it up in, where is it? This region right here, okay? But anyway, the point is it's 303, which I didn't even realize till after the fact is today's date, 3-3. So anywho, do with that what you will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get started with my Edgar Allan Poe deck and find out what is going on in your career right now, if again you are one of the people that this seems to speak to based on my prior cards. Thank you again for joining me. Let's find out what is going on with you, my dears. What is going on? Okay, show me, Spirit, what is going on with my viewers in their career as we speak. Thank you. Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, oh my goodness, the Moon, and Strength. Spirit, please clarify all these cups, and then we'll get started. Four of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and the Tower. And I also should tell you that in the pre-shuffle, got a lot of indications of the Justice card. So you could be a Libra, you could be in a legal field, but that is what I'm seeing. And I apologize for the glare. I'll try to show you the cards as we go. Okay, so this, my dears, is where I feel like you are at in your career. At least when I say I feel like, this is what I'm being guided to say by Spirit based on what the cards are showing, okay? First of all, the very fact that we have all of these cups up here tells me that there's a lot of emotion involved in whatever it is that you're doing. It seems to me that you started this path with this career as something that maybe you didn't even want to do at first. You weren't like all in. This was something that was like a job that you took for the sake of taking it, like you just needed a job, right? But it turned out that you became like really good at your job and you were moving forward in your career, right? And this could be during Gemini season because of these dates that we have here on the little papers, right? But you saw a future here. You saw, your ships coming in. You were moving forward. You really felt like you were divinely protected with this red string there, right? And that this was the proper course of action for you. You had, again, the wind taking off with you. So what is that phrase? It's the wind at your back, right? But lately, it seems to me in this Page of Cups that you're kind of pulling back a little bit, right? Because you went from Queen to Knight to Page. So it's like a downward trend, right? 13, 12, 11. You are starting to see the signs, right? As that's what I'm reading from the stars here, that there is something that is not sitting right with you in whatever the job is that you're doing. It used to be that this felt good to you. It didn't start off that way, but it blossomed in something. And now you're kind of circling back to where, wait a minute, is this really what I want? Are they appreciating me where I am? I am coming in, I'm doing my work, I'm doing my job. And I feel like we should be celebrating, but the signs are pointing to I'm just not really being seen for the person that I am and what I'm offering. And I think you're at a point where you're very, very frustrated with respect to a job that is not serving your needs. It used to, like at first you didn't think it was going to, and then it did. And now you're like, wait a minute, but hold on. And you got the moon here. So I think there is actually something, first of all, of course, we're talking about, this is March 3rd, 2026, which is the full moon, right? We talked about that already. But so it's very apropos. But here, you know, you've got the moon, which is card 18, which also makes me feel like maybe this is one of the first jobs you had as an adult. Like this is your first big grown-up job. I hate to say it that way because it sounds patronizing, but I don't mean it that way. By the way, take a sip of your not coffee because I know I will. This work job, you know, this whole work situation is always a challenge. But anyway, the point is you're like at odds with yourself. There's something hidden. There's something that you don't understand. And it could be, by the way, it could be that your bosses are actually really excited about you and want to give you a promotion to a different position that you think would benefit you. There could be something around the corner like that. Like could be a promotion, could be just increased, you know, for example, if you're working on commissions, your commission rate could increase, your territory could increase, that sort of thing. But there's something out there that you don't know. And quite honestly, you don't know whether it's good or it's bad, but you might be getting like a lot of scuttlebutt around the office that something is changing. And you're like lurking in the background like, hey, if something's changing, don't forget what I've done for you. Don't forget how awesome I am. And, you know, you're holding on with this strength card. This is a beast that you're tackling within yourself and also in the outside. You know, you're willing to hold on. You're willing to tame this beast and figure out what's going on with the moon here. But you're also kind of looking off to the side here where it's like you're not necessarily putting all your eggs in one basket, if you will. Like, yes, you're doing your best. You're working hard at this job because you have hopes that this might all work out. But you're also kind of looking off into the, like, what if this doesn't work out? What if I don't make that happen? And then we have the Four of Swords, which really confirms that. Like you're meditating on this, you're praying on it, you're really kicking it around in your mind, this idea of maybe I need to go back to square one and determine whether this struggle and this insecurity that I'm dealing with is really what I want in life. Did I just get sucked into something I happen to be good at? Or is this something that I really, really want? And so the Seven of Pentacles talks about starting something new, you know, planting a seed and waiting for the payoff. And the payoff here for you, my dear, is the Tower. The payoff is you start really planting that seed of thought and you know, this idea of looking off to the side into something new, and it creates this rupture. And look, we even have, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that till now. We even have a blood moon in the background, right? Remember I just talked about that? March 3rd, that's today. That's the blood moon eclipse that we just had. This is today. There are things happening today that are major changes in your environment, and it's something that you've seen coming sort of for a while. I also want to point out we have a lot of this blue here, and you know, here the Knight of Cups is lit up. And the Seven of Pentacles is lit up. And these indicate to me there's times in the past and now where like you're being yourself again. You're actually returning to who you are and the positive spirit that you are, like that joie de vivre that you have, that positive energy. Like you're in the dark right now in a lot of ways, and you feel like you need illumination, you need clarity, you need that sunrise to reach your highest peak. Like you were here where you felt really good about it, but you want something new, you want something different. And so you're kind of going, like I said, back to square one. You're planting some seeds of thought in your mind, and that Tower is happening to you right now. And because it's beneath the moon here, it says to me that it is whatever this is in the background that you think is going on. Like maybe, again, the managing team is meeting and you don't know what they're saying. It could be good, could be bad, but it's putting a pause, right, on what you're thinking. What it's telling me, being the Tower right underneath it, is whatever is being decided here by management is going to be a major, major rift and change in your life and what you decide to do with your job right now. So it could be positive, where it tears your world open in a positive way, but I'm going like 10-90 on that. Like 10% positive, 90% like this is not great. Not to say that the Tower is always not great, but it's a substantial change. And I think you've gotten used to some level of stability here. And now it's like, okay, you're waiting on this to figure out what to do with your future. And here it is, badank. All right, it's exactly what you thought it might be. So this is where I see you in your career now, my viewers, that this is meant for, based on those original cards, if you resonated with those. The next question I'm going to ask is, if your higher self could give you a preview of the possible outcome here, what would that look like? Now, again, this is always based on the circumstances as they are. It is, you know, subject to change. Any number of things could intervene. You could make different choices, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, this is where your higher self is saying, hey, viewer, if you continue along the path that you are right now on, this is what that looks like. All right, so let's get a look at that. Again, thank you for joining me on This Is Not Legal Advice. I am once again your host, TINLA. available for private readings. I, you know, I'm helpful for anything you might want to ask, not just career, also love, life circumstances in general, whatever it is you may have a question about. All right, 10 of Pentacles. Spirit's like, shut up. All right, damn. 10 of Cups. Oh, my. Okay. Tell me more, Spirit, about what my viewers could expect as an outcome, please. Sorry, it's just 8 of Cups. Yeah, all right. And one more, please, for now. Okay, we have the 9 of Cups. Wow, all right. All right, so, and I'm just going to leave this here with the bottom of the deck, and we'll come back to that in a second. With the 10 of Pentacles, this is happiness and joy in terms of seeing a future, seeing a financially stable future, something that you are really looking back at all the sort of coins that you've planted and reaping the benefits of those things. You know, it's very autumn or autumnal energy. Incidentally, look at this 10 of Pentacles. We have these flowers here, and I have these flowers. They match almost exactly. I did not plan that, but I guess Spirit did. Anyway, the point is, you're going to see some payoff for what you're putting the work into now, whatever that may be. And I was actually going to talk about the flowers in my extended video on this. And because they've been here a minute, I thought to myself, you know, they are at the end of an era. They are coming to the end of their cycle in my little vase here, right? There's like an end to the idealism and a practicality that comes into place that with the Pentacles that I feel like you're starting to grasp. The 10 of Cups is, I'm seeing this like on the scales, right? And maybe that's why the Justice card was coming up earlier. You want this stability, you want this financial success, but you also want that like mysterious work-life balance, right? You want to have the love and the support and the family connections and the friends and the Friendsgivings and, you know, going out for, you know, St. Patrick's Day and having a great time. Like you want this like fulfilling life outside of work, but you also are willing to put in the work to get the payoff. So you're like really running into this issue right now in whatever the job is where you're going to have to make a choice. How are you going to balance these things out? And we come across the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is an energy of moving on, of leaving the past in the past. And I think with the paw of the tiger here on this 1 cup, you're not quite ready to leave the past in the past yet. So I think what your spirit guide is saying is like, take your time, really evaluate whether where you are can meet this need of a work-life balance for you or not. You don't have to make a choice right now. You can wish on a star, if you will, okay? You can keep your eye open to other alternatives, maybe like your dream job opens up. But right now you don't need to move on. So it's almost like a hold on energy. Just keep thinking about this, keep sort of journaling about it, keep meditating on it, keep thinking like, is this job meeting my needs or do I need to move on? Right? And then we have the 9 of Cups, and the outcome here is telling me this is beautiful. This is your wish fulfillment. This is everything you dreamed it could be. So whatever it is that you choose to do after you've given this some due contemplation, it is going to end up beautifully for you. And it's, you know, it's divine feminine energy. I feel like saying it's, and when I'm saying that, I mean, it's a sense of like peace. It's a sense of tranquility. It's a sense of, I'm sorry, I just thought of like the Sea of Tranquility and Eddie Izzard, and maybe that means something to you. The Moon, Sea of Tranquility, the comedy special from 2001. I don't know. But you've got a new life with this lotus right there, see, blossoming on your crescent moon. So things are changing, and it's a rebirth into something beautiful and new and feminine, meaning, you know, more in alignment with this 10 of Cups, loving, balanced, you know, environment that you want. Like this is like pure capitalism here. This is like work hard, you know, and this is like play hard. And you've got to kind of sort that out. And I'm hearing or feeling that you're going to get there. You don't need to rush. Give it due thought. I should point out at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. This is a lioness, obviously, you know, surrounded by sunflowers, which of course they turn their heads toward the sun. So it's very interesting that the sunflowers would be pointing up in a nighttime scenario like we have here. So it's almost like you are somewhere where you shouldn't be. This is not a normal situation. This is almost like dream energy. And we also have a crow here, which incidentally, you know, that the deck, the Edgar Allan Poe deck I used, the back of it is the crow here. That might be a symbolic bird for you, a crow or a raven. I apologize to any Raven fans who are like, TINLA, this is a raven, not a crow. Don't you know about Edgar Allan Poe's work? Yes, I do. Stop it. Either one works. Okay? Pipe down. But the Queen of Wands is an energy of seeing through the veil. It's somebody who is in touch with the spiritual aspect of their lives. And it's almost like your spirit guide is saying, take your wand back. Again, this is a female lion. Sorry, men, it's not about gender. This is about energy. This is that energy of royalty, of security in who you are. It's a sense of what I want comes to me, not I chase. So this can apply to anybody of any gender across the spectrum. This energy is one of I attract, I don't chase. Even in this dreamscape world that is out of the ordinary, and your spirit guide is like, yes, queen, okay, in the best possible way across genders. Take your wand back, take your power back. You've got this, because what you want will come to you. So what I'm getting here is a very big sense of, between this card and this card, you're really in a contemplative stage. You're really in a stage where you're stepping back, you're regrouping, you are trying to determine what is in your best interest, whether that job that you started just because it was what it was at the time still serves you. But what I'm really feeling is the universe is like, don't rush it. You don't need to rush it, okay? You can take your time and you can think about it. So let's look at what the advice is for your highest good. And this is another crow-based deck. I didn't even mean to do this, but what is your spirit guide's advice for your highest good? And I felt the need to say, sometimes it's not what you want that's for your highest good, but it really is. So what would your viewer, spirit guide, say to you in terms of advice for your highest good? Again, thank you so much for joining me. I am TINLA. This is not legal advice. Please like, subscribe, share, etc. And do go to tinlatarot.com for the extended reading here or to book your own reading. I really enjoy doing the personal readings. I can do them via Zoom or I can do them recorded and then send you a link. And Spirit's like, shut up, you're losing them. There we go. Upheaval. Oh my goodness. Number 51. All right, so let's take a look here. We've got our crows. We've got these blue, like robin's eggs. So maybe the name Robin is significant to you, or the bird means something to you. We've got empty nests here. This could be somebody, you could be somebody, viewer, where you had one job during a marriage, I'm feeling, but like you're an empty nester now, where your kids have left and you finally feel like, oh, wait a minute, I can finally do the thing I wanted to do all these years, but I had to stay in that thing practically because I had these like babies at home. Now you're free to soar, you're free to fly and really explore what you want. It's really giving me an energy, again, continuing energy of taking the time to explore what it is you want and not what's being demanded of you. So let's see what number 51 says. And after that, we'll talk about what's going to be in the extended. Okay, so number 51, upheaval. It's on page 52, funny enough. I guess we're upheaving 51 to get to 52. Anyway, it says, nature does not discriminate. Upheaval is a reminder that things can change on a whim through no fault of your own. That was that tower energy, remember? Are you prepared for change? Are you able to regain your composure and fly off to a better, more stable position? From being laid off, wow, I didn't even pick this for career. Like, I didn't know it was, anyway, forget it. To being forced to move to a new home, change can appear sudden and sometimes cruel, but not always. Sometimes there are clues that change is coming, yet we ignore the signs. I'm sorry, I want to go back to what I said at the beginning when I got this here. I said sometimes change is not what you want it to be. It's an unpleasant reality that you have to accept. Remember that? You can rewind it and watch it again. That is what I said. Anywho, something to that effect. Where was I? Sometimes change brings a fortunate situation or moves us into a position to receive a greater opportunity. When upheaval appears, ask yourself if you can feel the rumblings, like a seismic wave just below the surface, that something is about to shift in your life. When you connect with your intuition, you will get a feeling that something is about to happen. You will pick up on the changing energy that will soon impact your life. When you can anticipate a coming upheaval, you will be better able to plan for the shakeup. So again, it's all about planning. It's all about really digging deep and determining what it is you want at this particular stage in your life. What served you before may not serve you now. So what I'm going to do in the extended, and this will be available right now as I'm recording this for free on tinlatarot.com, is I'm going to get into, what the circumstances of the world what effect they may have on your particular reading. Because right now, as I record this, there's a lot of upheaval worldwide. So what is the effect of the universe on that right now, on your career? And what advice can we get from Spirit? So it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little weird. And I accept that. We're also going to talk about Oscar-nominated film One Battle After Another. So stick around. Come to the extended. Join me over there where I can be a little bit weirder than I already am. But this is TINLA Tarot signing out. Thanks for joining, subscribing, etc. Love you. Bye.